All right, time for another draftphysics.com, debatephysics.com also, but jeebs, you can't buy a decent argument. So I don't know what to do about that, but I have to do something. There has to be some way to oblige these critics, these believers in the conventional bullshit, that they have to defend it and they have to explain how they have any credibility in calling what they're talking about science. Because really, without evidence, it's not science. Without doing the experiments, it's not science. It's just bullshit. All right, and speaking of the bullshitters, I mean, really, you can't. It's hard for me to explain how the contempt I have for some of these characters, but Piro is just such a scumbag. Because he's really smart enough to know that no, you don't convict people of murder, in a show trial. And that's all quantum mechanics is. That's all relativity is. It's a show trial that proved any of that crap to be the truth. The evidence is so thin, so weak, so tangential, so almost, Stern Gerlach is showing you electron spin when the things in the experiment are frickin' ions. They're not frickin' electrons. I mean, it's just an amazing nonsense, all through the physics. And to not be able, not to have the character to admit, oh, I wish the science was built out of a nice, rigorous piles of evidence where they actually tested some of this crap they claim. But he won't say it because he's a cheat and a fraud and a fake. He's just a religious fanatic. He believes he's some sort of, like his great-grandfather had sex with an alien or something, and that he has special powers and he's some kind of shaman, and he can't believe any of that if it's a mechanical universe. It's some sort of horse shit like that. All right, anyway. Your argument about energy is exactly why momentum is not energy. I mean, it's just ridiculous. My argument was made clear. There's not a single shred of evidence. There's not a single place you can show where momentum isn't always conserved, regardless of fucking goddamn direction. Momentum never cancels, ever. Okay, I used the clay examples that in the past that confused people a little bit. All right. I mean, the same guy who did the stupid denting clay experiments also did the smashing blobs of clay into each other. And yes, obviously what was observed is that the clay changes its shape. Okay. Just like a fender in a car crushes. The momentum does not cancel. A 50-mile-an-hour car crashes head on into another car going 50 miles an hour, and nothing fucking canceled. Okay, it's just such a pile of shit. Things with direction can cancel, so they can't. Okay, he has no evidence. He can't cite any evidence. He can't link to any evidence. You're just a liar, a pathetic, stupid, ignorant motherfucking liar. All right, energy can't, whatever the fuck that even means. Okay, which doesn't mean anything. What energy can't do is do any work. Okay, you can't move a spaceship in space with your kinetic energy. You can't conserve it in a ballistic pendulum. You can't conserve it anywhere. You can't conserve it when you simply move something at a speed and then add double its mass, and you still can't conserve it. All right. Momentum has direction. That bullshit. Everything has direction. There's no such thing as anything in the universe that's moving that doesn't have a fucking direction. So this is how silly this fucking turd is talking this. This is like fucking, again, this is somebody in an actual courtroom, a trial, and they go into the jury room and start talking about how gremlins did it. I mean, that's how big a cheater he is. He's so off the subject. He's so unqualified to even have an opinion because he's talking such goddamn made up shit. All right, so it can. Momentum, when you measure it, it's the only thing you can measure is a mass and a velocity. There's nothing else to measure, you jackass. Your stupid kinetic energy is just this fable about some kind of squared function that doesn't exist. All right. It turns out only to be conserved when you do take direction into account. So that's a lie. So show me the experiment, jackass. Show me a credible fucking experiment with a car, with a spinning wheel, with some kind of mechanism that's sort of reliable and dependable. A lever, a balance. Okay? All of those things say bullshit to what you just said there, fucker. All right, that proves energy and momentum are not the same thing. Obviously, momentum's real, and energy, by your definition, is a fable. It's absolute bullshit, nonsense, made up crap. It's not true. Okay. When an object comes to rest, its momentum goes to zero. Well, guess what? You don't think there is any such thing as rest, retard. Okay, its previous momentum is not hidden anywhere. Yet it is always somewhere. It went into friction. It went into air resistance. It went into moving some other object. Bowling balls just don't stop. Okay, the energy has to be taken from them, you dumb fuck. I can't believe he's this stupid to say something that stupid. Again, when objects come to rest, its momentum goes to zero. Its previous momentum is not hidden somewhere. It's always somewhere. Okay, and the fact is, it's hidden in, like, say, a battery. Batteries hide a ton of momentum. It's turned into energy. Well, that's a lie. It's turned into momentum. Pins don't have energy and bowling balls do. That's ridiculous. You're saying the bowling ball doesn't have energy, but the pin does? It's nonsense. And there's no momentum when it finally comes to rest. Yes, it's lost its energy. Yes, the energy left and went into some other object. That's its momentum. Its momentum went from being in it to being momentum in something else. And the MV is always conserved, as Professor Lewin says. So again, he's too much of a coward to explain why Professor Lewin is a lying scumbag, because he says momentum always has to be conserved. Oh, I just hate these people. God. You people are so unfair. You're just so unfair. I mean, not to admit you don't have any goddamn evidence. All right, so all these experiments you could do. So here's what they're claiming. So anybody who's just a reasonable observer, this is what they're claiming. All right, I have one mass. All right, all the masses are going to be the same. And I move it with 5 velocity. Okay. And then I have 5 one masses, okay, over here, moving with 1 velocity. Now, their argument is this, okay, this one here has 25 times the force. So when I put this on a lever, I do this in space, let's say, to make an idealization, and I have a fixed point, arbitrarily created by, I don't know, we have to fix it. We have to have some way to, well, it really doesn't have to be fixed, frankly. So you're going to have one force is going to hit this way. Okay, the 5 mass going 1v, and you have the 1 mass going 5v over here. They say this side decisively wins. Decisive. Okay, now it doesn't win on, we already know, on a balance, the two things are exactly the same. But they're going to say it. Their theory predicts it. Their theory demands that it wins decisively. And so even if I put 10 of these here, so now I have 10 going 1 velocity, it still loses. I put 15 of them going 1 velocity in this direction. 15 to 1. They still say this side wins. 20. I go to 20. They still say this side wins. So I have 20 things pushing with 1 velocity, 1 pound of pressure, and I have one thing pushing with 5 pounds of pressure, and they still think this side wins. This side wins. And it's not until I get to 25. Okay, I have to have 25 one mass objects going 1v to equal the pressure of the 1 mass going 5v. That's their ludicrous, insane, preposterous, silly, stupid, and crazy, nutty. Can't possibly, how could anybody believe that? How can anybody seriously believe that's true? That that's how the universe works? How can you do that? How can you believe that? You would sell that to a kid's brain? You would sit there and teach that to somebody? That that's how it works? You'd sit there and talk to, say, a 10-year-old and explain reality to them and say, yeah, look, it takes 25 objects going 1v to equal 1 object going 5v. Yeah. You'd sell that dope, okay? Physics dope. Ooh, I'll use that for a title. Physics dope. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Physics DP, PD. You're pushers, and you're pushing dope. You're pushing stupid, idiotic, moronic nonsense. And you ought to be punished. Yeah, you ought to be convicted and get what you fucking deserve. Because really, you've shown you don't care about the truth. Because you goddamn well know, and it's just a fact, they all know it. They know it doesn't take 25 times the fuel to go 5 times as fast. They know it's not true, and that they keep pushing the bullshit. They keep saying, oh no, we've proven our theory. Oh no, we have adequate evidence. Oh no, science has done all the experiments and they've done them very well. All the important experiments have done very well. Yeah, we tested everything. We measured the heat. We measured everything. We did it all really great. They haven't done any of it. So just understand, none of it. I could go on and on about the, I was thinking about the editing experiment. The fact is, once you're in space, you can do the experiment all kinds of ways. And you could even make a movie out of it because you could just basically show the whole universe being lensed by the sun. Do we have that video? No. Could we have that video? Yeah. Could we have it really cheap? Yeah. Why don't we have it? Because it doesn't goddamn happen. That's why we don't have it. All right. We don't have the tug of war between the 10 mass object going 5 velocity and the 5 mass object going 10 velocity. We don't have that simple tug of war where they say the 5 mass decisively wins because it has twice as much energy. No, it doesn't. Yeah. All right. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, I hate this planet. But look, there's no point because they won't draw it. They won't explain how it really works. They won't explain to you how this is real, that this actually happens. So in spite of the fact that the lever, the balance, absolutely proves it doesn't happen because the balance absolutely proves that the one mass, okay, at 5 distances, okay, moving 5v, okay, does in fact balance, perfectly balance, okay, with the 5 mass, 1 distance. Perfectly balances, going 1v. 1 velocity, 5 velocity, we know the outcome. And the outcome is they're dead equal. Now will they draw that and explain how there's 25 times the energy difference on these two sides, and that somehow the lever is just being stupid for not recognizing that there's so much more energy on one side? That if I get hit with this side, if I put a little club on here to hit something with, and a little club over here, somehow this club will hit me 25 times harder than this one. No, the other way around, sorry. 25 times more hitting power here than here. Bullshit. Insane bullshit, frankly. Crazy, stupid, silly, stupid nonsense. And they keep defending it. And again, they can't link to any evidence. Their evidence pool is a desert. It's full of cacti. There's nothing here. They can't show us the truth. They just keep telling us it's the truth. And everybody should know that should be a mistrial. When all the prosecution has is, I say he's guilty, yeah, that's a mistrial. You people just suck. God damn it. Pus. Human pus.